Hi everyone, I'm Tabitha, and today we're talking about book reviews. Book reviews are so important to authors, publishers, and even other readers. They can help you determine if you're going to like a book or even if you're interested in buying it. There's no question that book reviews can be incredibly useful, but if you're a reader more than a writer, you might be struggling with how to write one. In fact, the number one question I get asked by readers and fans of my page is, how do I write a book review? Well, have no fear. I'm going to bring my 4 tips today for how you can write a great book review. Number 1, put your review on a public platform. There are a lot of places for you to put your review. You can put a post on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Some publishing companies or bookstores will let you review directly on their website. You can take out an ad in your local newspaper. But most authors are going to direct you to the big one, Amazon. However, Amazon has been known to not allow you to review them if you didn't buy it from Amazon, or even to delete reviews because of your association with the author on other social media platforms. So if you can't post to Amazon, go ahead and get a free Goodreads account. Amazon owns Goodreads, and put your review there. Really, it doesn't matter where you put your review, just that you put it out there and maybe let the author know it's available. Number 2, use your star ratings correctly. Most places where you review books are going to base it on a 5-star system. Here's a basic guideline for how I rate my books. 5 stars means I absolutely loved it. It's one of my new favorites. At the end of the year, if you asked me what the best book I read this year was, this one would be on the list. I think everyone should read 5-star books. 4-star books are books I really thoroughly enjoyed, and I'm going to highly recommend them for very specific audiences. High fantasy books, science fiction, maybe romance. They're not necessarily for everybody, but they're for people who love that genre. 3-star books are books I thoroughly enjoyed, but they may be slightly forgettable. By the end of the year, if you ask me about this book, you may have to give me a sentence or two to remind me before I remember I liked it. 2-star books, I didn't really enjoy. If I had them to read again, I'd probably go ahead and skip them. And 1-star books, I didn't like at all. There are, of course, variations on these 5-star ratings, including some people who choose not to put ratings at all for anything below 3 stars. Whatever you choose, just make sure it works for you and never skip giving a book a rating. Tip number 3, what did you love? This is the meat of the review, after all. I like to start a review with something I liked about the book. Whether it's 5 stars or 3 stars, I give just a quick sentence telling people what I enjoyed. It can be, I felt like I could be best friends with this character, or this setting was described perfectly, or maybe this is a time period I love to read about. Whatever it is, spend a sentence or two telling us what you liked about this book. And lastly, tip number 4, who do you recommend this book for? I like to close my reviews by telling people exactly who I think would enjoy the book the most. Even if you didn't love it, maybe gave the book 2 or 3 stars, who do you think would love it? Is this book written for people who like young adult books? Is it written for people who have children? Is it written for other people who love fantasy? Is it written for anybody who's a fan of Game of Thrones? You can be as specific as you want, but tell us who would love this book. Now, you may have noticed here that I didn't mention putting in our review what we didn't like or found problematic with the book. That's not required. If you found problems with the book and you just can't ignore them, feel free to mention it, but don't feel obligated to do that. It's more important that you give it a star rating, tell us what you thought of it, and then tell us who would love this book. Let me give you a quick sample of this kind of book review using a book I've read. The book is called Mercy Rule. It's by Tom Levine, and it's a book I rated 5 stars, which, if you've been paying attention, means I highly recommend it for everyone. I loved that this book took a dark subject matter and made you think about it. It pulled at your heartstrings and made you think, what if, in a big way. I would highly recommend this book for anyone who is a teenager, works with teenagers, or is raising teenagers. 5 stars, highly recommended. Okay, that's it for me and my tips for how to write a good review. I hope you found at least one little tidbit you can use, because if I help even one person, then I've done my job here. So let me know what I can do to help you. If you have a comment, something that worked for you, or a question, something you're still wondering, drop it in the comments and I'll try to come back and address it next time. Hit that subscribe button so you'll know when I'm back. Keep plotting the path to your dreams, and I will see you next week. Bye.